So now that we know that what is a securable, what is a principal, what is a login, uh, there is a very interesting and very useful facility or feature in as far as security in SQL Server is concerned, that you can give limited rights or access to a particular login or a user depending upon his task that he needs to perform. So for example, if there is a user who only wants to drop the database or add the database, and we don't want that user to have the rights to see what the tables are beneath the database, then we can give those rights to that particular user. So let's see how it is done. So we'll create a new query, or we'll open a new query window. So another important thing that you need to understand is when you are dealing with, or when you are writing any uh, script that involves the security features of SQL Server, you always have to use the master database, because master database is the database that stores the metadata of all the other databases around it or in the SQL Server. So the topic that we are discussing is referred to as grant. So what we will say is, we will say grant alter any database to location. So what it means is that we are saying that the login location only have an alter right for all the databases in the SQL Server. So if you only give alter right of a database to Lokesh, that means or he will not be able to query the tables, or he will not be able to delete data from the tables. So let's see whether it works or not. And in order to run this command as well, you need to be the admin of the system. If you're not the admin, you will not be able to run this command. So these things are important. So let's execute this first. So it says that the command completed successfully. So now what we will do is we will try to log in with Lokesh username and his credentials, and try to see whether we are able to query any of the tables in any of the databases or not. So let's close this SSMS window. We don't want to save the changes, and then click on Microsoft SQL Server again. So again, a new window will open up, and you know the drill. You need to select the SQL Server authentication mode. I think the username name would already be there because you have used that in the past, and use the password that you generated or created for it. It would be caps P, then ASSWORD@11, and then click on connect. So now you are into the server. And another thing that needs to be noted over here is that when you log in with a different username that is not the admin, that name will appear on top of the server node. And as you can see that I logged in as Lokesh's username, and Lokesh is appearing on top of the server node. So this is the server name, and then followed by Lokesh. Lokesh being the person who is able to access or get into the SQL Server. Now, as we discussed, what we will try to do is, you remember that there is a table called employee in the first DB SQL database. So we'll try to query that table. So what we will do is, we'll say select star from first, then DBO. So ideally, if you had been logged in as admin, you will be able to see the employee table in the IntelliSense. So, but when we logged in with the help of location credentials, we now are not able to see the employee table coming in the IntelliSense. So this is an indication that you will not be able to run the select statement in any of the tables. So let's click on execute, and it says the server principal Lokesh is not able to access the database first DB SQL under the current security context. Okay, so it makes clear, the error message is absolutely clear. It says that the principal, being the person who is trying to access some of the objects across the SQL server, is not able to access the table. They have generalized the error message saying that in the current security context. Now, what rights does the login location has? We said that it has all the alter rights on databases. So let's try to delete a database called SQL script DB, because if Lokesh has all the rights on the database only, then he should be able to drop or create a database. Let's see whether it works or not. So we'll say drop database, and it would be SQL script DB. Select this from the IntelliSense and then click on execute. So it clearly shows you that the login location has all the access up to the database level, not beyond the database level or not underneath the database level. So you also should keep in mind that the hierarchy that we use in order to create objects or in order to refer any objects inside the SQL server is, first of all, we have a server, and then we have a database, and then we have tables and other objects. I covered this topic in the very first chapter of this video tutorial series, but it's worth reminding you so that you don't get confused. So there it is. We have covered everything that we need in order to get the basic understanding of SQL Server. This will get you started. You'll have to practice more and more, devote time on daily basis. I would recommend at least 1 hour on daily basis. First, start with understanding the concepts and then follow it up with some SQL queries. I think the more you write, the more you will gain the experience and more confidence you will get. So I wish everybody, I wish everyone who has watched all the videos a best of luck in your career. I think you will definitely get a good job if you add SQL Server to your resume under the Skills tab. And if you still have any questions, if you want any advice in your career regarding SQL Server or say Microsoft BI, you can reach out to me at this email address. It is er.lokesh sharma08@gmail.com. So I wish everybody a best of luck. Keep trying your best. The important thing is that you need to be consistent. If you are consistent, the results will follow. Thank you so much.